Cowboys' NFC East rival makes blockbuster trade for Deebo Samuel. Before new head coach Brian Schottenheimer drafts his first player or holds his first practice, his task to lead the Dallas Cowboys back to the playoffs has already grown more difficult. In a talented NFC East division led by the newly crowned Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, now the Washington Commanders are making moves to build upon their surprising run to last season's NFC Championship. In the first trade of the NFL offseason, the Commanders on Saturday afternoon agreed to acquire San Francisco 49ers dynamic, versatile playmaker Deebo Samuel. According to ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, the acquisition of Samuel is costing the Commanders only a fifth-round pick in next month's draft. One of Washington's main objectives this offseason was to upgrade the offensive weapons for star quarterback Jayden Daniels, who led the team to a surprising 125 record and 2 road playoff wins that took them to the NFC title game. Mission already accomplished. If the Commanders wanted a proven asset to play opposite receiver Terry McLaurin, Samuel fits the bill. The Houston Texans were also rumored to be in the market, but Washington obviously struck first to acquire one of the league's most explosive offensive players. Samuel, 29, was a first-team All-Pro with the Niners in 2021, amassing 1,170 yards and 14 touchdowns as a running back and receiver. He carried the ball 59 times and caught 77 passes, averaging a league-leading 2 yards per catch. He was part of a Niners nucleus that made 3 consecutive playoff appearances, including a berth in Super Bowl XVIII in the 2023 season. His production has tailed off the last 3 seasons, however, as he only had 51 catches for 670 yards and 3 touchdowns last season, and running the ball just 42 times and scoring only once. Related Cowboys fans skeptical as Jerry makes new. 5-point roster promise the trade can't be officially processed and announced by the teams until the start of free agency and the new season on March 12th. The Cowboys reportedly had interest in Samuel, but were waiting to see if he would be released by the Niners to avoid trading assets for what could be a declining player. The Commanders took no chances, and now Dallas has more offensive firepower to defend in its own division. Ashton Jeanty sends 3-word message on Cowboys after no meeting at NFL Combine Boys State Standout. Ashton Jeanty is the top running back in the 2025 draft class and a potential franchise changer as early as his rookie year. The RB position is experiencing something of a renaissance in the NFL with the success that Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry brought to the Philadelphia Eagles and Baltimore Ravens, respectively, after inking free agent deals in the offseason. And the success of Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit and Bijan Robinson in Atlanta have forced a review of the value of selecting a running back in the first half of the first round of the NFL Draft. ESPN's Field Yates said on Friday, February 28, that Jeanty represents the clearest path to a Pro Bowl selection of arguably any player who will become a pro in late April. As such, he is the exact type of impact performer the Dallas Cowboys need to remake their offense from the one-dimensional attack it slid into last season, which got even worse after QB Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending injury. The Cowboys select 12th overall and will eventually meet with Jeanty, though chose not to do so at the NFL Combine this week. Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram explained why via an X post on February 26. "He'll be a Dallas Day guy that they can bring in for a facility visit," Harris reported. "No point in burning a combine visit on him." Jeanty spoke with media members on Friday who asked him about the Cowboys potentially selecting him after the long pre-draft process, to which he responded with a simple 3-word message. Ashton Jeanty: Boise State hasn't met with the Cowboys yet, but that is of no consequence, a Dallas Day workout at worst and 0:30 at best. It bears mentioning new offensive coordinator Clayton Adams is a Boise State alum. They will sit down with Jeanty soon. Jeanty finished his final collegiate season with 2,601 rushing yards, just 27 yards short of Barry Sanders' all-time NCAA record. Jeanty added 29 rushing touchdowns on the year. Dallas has several needs, including along the offensive line, so it isn't a lock that the Cowboys will draft Jeanty given the opportunity. And picking at number 12, there is no guarantee that Jeanty won't already be off the board by the time Dallas would get the chance. In his latest mock draft, ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. predicted that the Las Vegas Raiders will select the star running back with the 6th pick in the first round. Cowboys draft visits. Who is Dallas showing interest in? The 2025 NFL Scouting Combine is in full swing, and aside from the 40-yard dashes, it's a critical event to learn more about the Cowboys' draft plans. Here we get our first glimpse at who they are visiting with, which says a lot about their early focus for the upcoming draft. Both from a player and positional standpoint, these visits are a peek inside the front office's mind. Dallas, in particular, doesn't have a great poker face when it comes to prospect interest. By the time the draft rolls around, everyone has a good idea of who Dallas likes the most. From Tyler Guyton to Maisie Smith to Leighton Vander Esch, this narrative has held strong. With both media interviews and reporters' sources, we're beginning to learn more and more about who Dallas wants to talk to. Here, he'll focus on a few of those guys that are confirmed to have either visited with the Cowboys or plan to later this draft season. Ashton Jeanty superstar. Scheduled to visit. If you've been on social media recently, you may have seen some uproar from Cowboys fans that the team hasn't met with Boise State star Ashton Jeanty. For those concerned in Cowboys Nation, don't be. The Combine limits teams to interviews, and they usually end up using them on guys they want to learn more preliminary information about. This can be anything from a medical or personal red flag to getting to know an under-Theradar guy more. Jeanty, a top option for Dallas in the first round, told reporter Clarence Hill Jr. that he has a 30 visit scheduled with the team. That means the Heisman Trophy runner-up will be one of 30 prospects that the Cowboys draft gurus can bring in for. A full visit, it's an exclusive list that is usually a strong predictor for their picks. In short, Ashton Jeanty is still clearly in the mix for Dallas. In fact, they want to see a lot more of him. Jackson Dart's strong interest in polarizing QB, the Cowboys will select a quarterback at some point in the 2025 NFL Draft. This is all but a guarantee, with Trey Lance hitting free agency. Stephen Jones even said so during a recent interview. This has led to a ton of fan speculation about who that guy might be, and Dallas is doing a lot of due diligence on one option in particular. Jackson Dart, the polarizing quarterback prospect out of Ole Miss, confirmed that he met with the Cowboys at the Senior Bowl and again during the Combine. That's a pretty clear sign that the front office has interest. Dart, 21, is one of the most debated prospects in the entire class. His draft range is huge. Some see him as a potential first-round pick, while others, myself included, think of him more as a middle-round guy. With the Cowboys lacking a fourth-round pick due to their in-season trade for Jonathan Mingo, it may be hard to get Dart in the fifth, which Jones said would be the best round for them to take a backup quarterback. Matthew Golden, Houston native. To Dallas, it's no secret that the Cowboys need to address the wide receiver position this offseason. This could happen during free agency, but it's much more likely to occur during the draft in April. If that is the route they go, you should be familiar with the name Matthew Golden, if you aren't already. Golden is one of the premier deep ball threats in this entire draft, and the Cowboys seem to agree. The Longhorn star met with Dallas at the Combine, and it wouldn't shock me if he became a 30 visit, too. This is the perfect guy to draft in the first round if the team traded back to acquire more draft capital. Golden has the potential to fly up the board, but right now he's slated as a late first-round pick. If that holds, he may be a reach at 12, but a golden opportunity down the board.